Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I am your host Tom Downey, back again with some more Cowboys rumors. First up, are the Dolphins going to hire Kris Richard? As we have all the entire time, I'm going to keep this at 2 stars when it comes to Kris Richard leaving. Obviously, the Jets and Bucs are no longer options for Richard. Meanwhile, one report from Fox Sports says that Richard is the likely favorite there. The report from Alex Marvez is that nothing concrete, but NFL folks he's spoken to believe Kris Richard will land the Dolphins head coaching job. Meanwhile, a report from the Miami Herald says Brian Flores has impressed and he could end up getting the job for the Dolphins. And also, by the way, the Dolphins aren't even done interviewing yet. They have an interview scheduled with Darren Rizzi for Friday. So the truth here is that nobody knows yet who the Dolphins are actually going to hire. I am sure that Richard and Flores all impressed them. But if the Dolphins haven't even finished their interviews, I have a tough time seeing them actually already having locked into somebody. Now, could Richard get the job? Absolutely. That's a strong possibility. But the Dolphins aren't done yet. But do be worried about this job. I would not be surprised if Richard took the Dolphins head coaching job. Look, I know a lot of you have argued that, maybe Richard could just stay as a DC, which we'll get to here in a minute, but it's not about the money, it's not about the title, it's about the responsibility of being a head coach. Kris Richard wants that opportunity, and yeah, we all think he'd still have a chance next year, but that's no sure thing, so he might just take the job if offered. So I ask you, will Kris Richard be back with the Cowboys next year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Helping out the Cowboys when it comes to keeping Kris Richard is Rod Marinelli. 4 stars on this room, which is what we've said before, right? Rod Marinelli, he doesn't care about titles. He's happy to keep Kris Richard. He actually had a very great quote that we'll get to here in just a second on it. But Marinelli isn't worried about being the defensive coordinator in title. And in reality, he's not even in that role in reality. Kris Richard's calling all these plays here. Marinelli just wants to win with the Cowboys and help out his players. Here's the quote from Rod Marinelli. I'll do whatever the Cowboys need to be done for us to keep Kris Richard. I only care about what's best for the players. He doesn't care about the titles. He just wants to have Kris Richard here. So yes, if Kris Richard does not get the Miami Dolphins head coaching job, I think he is staying with the Dallas Cowboys. Other fans, other people covering teams have thrown out the idea of Richard being a DC somewhere else. That's not going to happen. He will stay in Dallas. He'll get a big fat pay raise, a nice little title promotion from Jerry Jones. And there's one thing we know about Jerry Jones. He has proven he is willing to pay to keep assistant coaches. He did the exact same thing with Jason Garrett. He'll give Kris Richard a heavy pay raise, but it really comes down to whether or not the Dolphins offer him their open head coaching job. All right, folks, subscribe to us on YouTube, our Cowboys Report channel over at youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. Link is right there at the bottom of your screen. We've got news and rumors, highlights, and special fan-led content like our mailbag available up there. So head over there now, youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All right, more rumors coming up here is Connor Williams going to start for the Cowboys this week. I'll put it at 3 stars, not quite set in stone, but barring some kind of drastic change, i.e. an injury, Connor Williams is going to get the starting nod at left guard for the Dallas Cowboys. And he's worked above Su'a-Filo past couple practices, so he is likely going to be your starter. And although I trust Connor Williams relative to Xavier Su'a-Filo, I don't want to discount this matchup. This is tough. You've got Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald going to be lined up across you depending on what formation and where those two line up for the Rams. That's going to be a tough battle for the Cowboys' entire offensive line. Even Zach Martin could have some trouble with those two guys. So your interior of your line, Connor Williams, Joe Looney, Zach Martin, that is not going to be an easy matchup. That's going to be tough for the Cowboys. The good news is I do think Connor Williams' ability to get to the second level will benefit the Cowboys in this matchup against the LA Rams. He's better at doing that than Xavier Su'a-Filo, even though, as you all know, Seawill does need to work on his strength. Now, comparing these two guys, honestly, and I still believe this, Connor Williams is the better player. I know that Su'a-Filo started really well in those first couple games. He kind of came back down to earth. In, call it, almost half the snaps, not quite that number, he allowed more sacks. Yeah, Seawill had more quarterback hits and more hurries and more penalties, but Su'a-Filo got beat too. He was not this elite offensive lineman that I think people wanted him to be. He did a good job filling in. I am fine with starting Connor Williams. So If both are healthy, I think Williams is the guy to start at left guard. I'm typing in W, and that's not a knock on Su'a-Filo. I like Connor Williams. You guys know that. Yeah, there are going to be a handful of plays each game where he just gets beat, and it's ugly, and it's very noticeable. But Su'a-Filo had those too, and those numbers we just showed you, they backed them up as well. All right, folks, if you guys like what I'm wearing, it's a Mizzen and Main shirt, so go get one of your own. Comfortable.af is the site. You guys are not going to find a more comfortable dress shirt than a Mizzen and Main shirt. I tend to sleep in these things. It does come after a late night out, but hey, they're very comfortable, so go check them out, comfortable.af. All right, some more Cowboys rumors, some injury news, and not good one here. Is Blake Jarwin going to be out? I'll put this one at 2 stars. The Cowboys have kind of pushed out that they're feeling optimistic and they're hopeful about Blake Jarwin, but he has not been in practice. And Mike Fisher reports that the injury is actually more severe than the team has been letting on. He hasn't practiced all week, and by the way, it could be a scenario where if the Cowboys win, they might go poach somebody off a practice squad because they don't think Jarwin's going to be able to go. So Jarwin's a tough guy. He is going to give everything he can to play in this game, much like Cole Beasley, who we'll get to here in a little bit. But there's a pretty decent chance that Blake Jarwin is not able to go this week. If you made me pick one right now, I'd lean toward Blake Jarwin not being able to go for the Cowboys against the LA Rams, which I did not think was going to be the case at the beginning of the week. But that ankle injury ended up being more severe than we had thought. So Dalton Schultz is your number 1. If Jarwin can't go, it's Rico Gathers time as your number 2 tight end. You'll see some more Noah Brown. You'll even see some Cam Fleming and more run-heavy packages. So if Jarwin can't go, is this the long-awaited Rico Gathers breakout game? Type 1 for yes, type 0 for no. If the Cowboys actually let Rico get involved in the offense, sure, why not? But I would not be surprised if you just end up seeing more Dalton Schultz and he takes more of those Blake Jarwin snaps. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. All right, next up, is Cole Beasley going to be able to play? I'll keep this one at 2 stars for now as well. Jerry Jones had said he was feeling pretty confident. But as of late, he hasn't been able to practice, so I'm at least a little bit more concerned about Cole Beasley. Now, I will not be surprised if it ends up being more of a limited type role for Cole Beasley, if kind of like what we saw last week, he's out on a lot of rundowns and just comes in on 3rd downs to be a passing threat. But that's a high ankle sprain. He has not practiced, so there are no guarantees here. I would hope he would have been able to go later this week, but we'll see what happens there. We are getting very close. Again, it's on Saturday, so everything kind of gets pushed up a week in terms of prep time. So if you don't have Cole Beasley, Tavon Austin, who hasn't actually played that much slot this year for the Cowboys, has been operating in that role. You'll see more Noah Brown. Lance Sonora might actually be active in that scenario, but I think you'll see more Tavon Austin. Again, no Allen Hurns, so it's Cooper, it's Gallup, it's Noah Brown, it's Tavon Austin. If Cole Beasley can't go, I hope he's able to, though. Now, the other injuries I'll make note of here for the Dallas Cowboys. Go back to that initial group here. Tavon Austin, he'll be good to go. Noah Brown, he's fine. Collins is fine. Darian Thompson might not be active because he hasn't been for all that many games this year, but he's fine as well. Where things get dicey, Su'a-Filo, I think he's going to be fine. Cole Beasley, Blake Jarwin, they are very much questionable right now. They will be game-time decisions. I think it is more likely that Cole Beasley plays than it is than Blake Jarwin plays right now. So that's your main update there. But as for David Irving, he's not playing. Don't even worry about it. He's not going to be out there. And the Cowboys continue to hold out hope that he's able to make a return later on in the playoff run. All right, folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. Put down $50, they're going to give you $60 for free. Put down $100, they're going to give you $120. Put down $500, they'll give you $600 extra bucks to bet with. It's the best deal out there. Chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys120 for that 120% deposit bonus. All right, one last rumor for you guys. The Cowboys are expecting a big crowd in Los Angeles. Well, 3 stars on this one. We'll see what the numbers actually break out to be, but I fully expect that the Cowboys have plenty of fans at the Rams game, The Cowboys, again, they're on the road in Los Angeles, but don't forget here, there are a lot of Cowboys fans in LA. That's something we all know about, and let's not pretend that the Rams have a strong fan base since they just moved there. Now, I think that the Cowboys are going to have, I'll put the over-under, 51%. I think there are going to be more Cowboys fans at that game than Rams fans. Call me crazy, but the Cowboys fan base will show up. It's going to be big. Either way, the Cowboys fan base will help eliminate or even just minimize the home field advantage for the LA Rams. Now, the spread has moved more in favor of the Rams. It's now -7.5 after opening up at -7. Cowboys have won 8 of their last 9. The Rams kind of backed in a little bit. 2-2 in the last 4, although they're coming off the bye and have been 7-1 at home this season. So predict the score, folks. Cowboys at the Rams. Who you got? Then DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. If you are the first one to get it right, I'll send you guys $25. Got to be exactly right. And also, don't forget the team that wins, because sometimes you guys do that, and it's always kind of funny to me that you guys forget to do that. I'll make my prediction right now as well. Life's too short. Give me the Cowboys 31-30 over the Rams going to the NFC Championship game. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.